This is Yerushalmi Peah Daf Nun Aleph, and we got up to Nun Aleph Amraf Halacha Beis, the Mishnah. In the Vilna, that is the top, is Chav Tes Amud Aleph, right at the top. Halacha Beis. Omer Shusomach Legapa. If you have a sheave, a bundle which is next to a fence, the Moshe says it's a Kappa is specifically a stone fence without any mortar. Ulagadish, it's next to a pile of grain. In the bracket says here ul bakar, and it's next to evidently the significant cattle, something which is standing there. The Rash Cirilio says it's becker. Baish omnos bo ha-bakar achosha. So becker gosinabu, base bakrus. In other words, according to it's not a cow, but it's the place where you keep the cows. I guess I don't know what's called horse called a stable, but here it was some sort of other, the same type of thing, except for that it is for cows. Kalim, or it's next to a significant keli, v'shacho, and he forgot b'shamrim eno shikha. Shama says it's not shikha. The Pnei Moshe explains the oil v'yanicho etz adar seems to be put by something specific. V'anu gapa v'gadish. Evidently, he didn't have the Becker girsa. Shem oindim makom kavua, so which in a specific place. Atzi l'zarch, eventually you're going to remember it. So Argus says shikha. Moshe says, as long as he didn't seize it to take it to the city, it's shikha no matter what. If you seized onto it too, bring it to the city, and then you left out in the field. I feel in a sum of davar musim, if it's not next to something specific, but shachan you've got lo ave shikha. It's not shikha, it's not masis in the common. We're going to see in the subsequent Mishnah. Once you start taking it, it doesn't become shikha anymore. Says Gemara, "Kasha Beis Shammai." So I'm going to go with the Ritbaz here. Kasha Beis Shammai, begap of a gadish, davar shemusiyam. The gap of gadish davar musiyam. B'inami eno shikha. What's the question here? So he says the Raj says that we're supposed to change the girsa. Kain tzarich lomar. Because this again it's in the Ritbaz. Kasha Beis Shammai. From a Shammai it's difficult, but becker of a kalim davar she'eno musiyam. B'inamim eno shikha. It's not something. So he's learning that, at least at this stage of Gemara, that Becker is not a house, but Becker is bakar. It's cows, right? So if it's cows, so then it's not Dar Museum, just like Kaim, it's not Dar Museum, right? It's movable objects. So they therefore move. Why should it mean Eino Shikha? And conversely, again, we change gears. So if Kasha Beis Hillel, Begap of Gadish, Davashu Musuyam, it's definitely something which is fixed and permanent and significant. You know what I mean? Shu Shikha. They say Shikha. Rabbi says, Kain Ikal Fiani is Taiti, and then he says, quotes a couple more Mara Mekoimis. Okay, so again, the question is the reverse of what the Gemara asks. It says the bimkomo. So the Kavanaki has a Talmud Taninon. Before that, he put something because there's a Mishnah later on, Perek Zayin Lacha Aleph. So Haya Ome B'tzad Hagas or B'tzad Harpirza. So the Tzad Harpirza. It seems that it's not Shikha. It's a question on Beis Hill. So Masisim B'Shamai. No. So Gemara says that Mishnah later on is that when it says Tzad Hagas or B'tzad Harpirza, that in that Mokum it's not Shikha. That Mishnah is going to be B'Shamai says Ena Shikha. Amar Yehuda who said Divrei Hakoli. No, everybody agrees to that. Talmud Dover Mechubar B'tzad Dover Mechubar. So there it's talking about something which is connected to the ground next to something else which is connected to the ground. The specific case of there is talking about an olive tree. So if it's an olive tree next to a fence and you forgot to harvest that olive tree, it's not going to be shikha because it's next to a davar mesuyam. So they're both mechubar. That gives them an affinity to each other. Tama davar mechubar b'tzad davar mechubar bram hacha, but here davar tolish b'tzad mechubar. Here Beis Hillel says it's not considered. It's still considered shikha because there's no affinity between something which is severed from the ground, the bundle, next to davar mechubar. So we never answered. According to Rebaz, we never answered the original question of the Gemara. It remains difficult. Kedusha Radah seems to say something about it, but let's just assume for now that the Gemara doesn't answer the question. Okay, so Amar Rabbi said, "Sha'alti is Rabbi Yeshua." You know what? I really want to go back to the question. Again, the question is going to be Shammai, Becker came Dover Shem Muslim. You're going to have to say, in order to answer that question, that it's not Bakr, it's a Becker. And the Kaim also, they're significant. That there's so according to Beis Shammai, even though it's the Dover Talush, the fact that it's significant, it suffices. According to Beis Hillel, no, it doesn't work. A Dover Talush doesn't work, and even Dover Mechubar only works if there's a Dover Mechubar next to Dover Mechubar, then it's not Shikha. And the Kasha and Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel, therefore, by Gapa Gadish, right, Dover Mesuim, why is it Shikha? Again, because according to Beis Hillel, the way we just learned, it's actually that the only mechuber connects to mechuber and not a mechuber to a tolish. So in essence, what the Gemara has answered the resolution of the Mishnah later on and how it reconciles with our Mishnah over here, according to Divrei HaKol, actually does resolve the Gemara's initial question. So we'll just repeat again. According to Beis Shammai, even something which is tolush, if it's significant, it can be matzil on the thing next to it. It's not clear if it should be really Buck or a Becker, but definitely Kalim are in the Tolush, so therefore significant saves the thing Tolush next to it. According to Beis Hillel, no, only something Tolush does not save something Tolush, and something Mechuber does not save something Tolush. Only Mechuber saves Mechuber, and that's the case over there later on in the 7th parak. Okay. Rabbi Lo said, "Sha'alti is Rabbi Yeshua." Rabbi Lo is Rabbi Lo. Sometimes it says Eloi, sometimes it says Elah, sometimes it says Law. Sha'alti is Rabbi Yeshua. Be'elu omorim plika Beis Shammai Hill. What bundles are Beis Shammai Hill arguing about? He said, Batorah Hazos. It's an interesting lashon. It's going to go on. He says the he says the lashon shvua. Okay, Batorah Hazos. Omer Samach Gapa. You have an Omer which is next to a wall or the Gadish or a pile, Vakar Kalim, and again Bakar could be Becker, but the Bakar Kalim. It sounds like all these things. I'm going to differ with the Ratzirilio now and go retrospect. It sounds like it's not Mechub L'Karka, because even the Gapa is talking about where it's not cemented in. So therefore, really, these are significant things, but they're not Mechub L'Karka, all of them. The Gapa is uncemented. Gosh is a pile of grain. Bakar is cows. Kalim are vessels. V'shako b'shamay omri eno shicha b'solomim shicha. Which sounds like our Mishnah. Shabasi eitz Rabbi Lezer when I came to Lezer, Amri Lorchu Beisham Beisel Al Omer Shusam Legapa Legadish Lebeker Lechel Beker Lebakar Lekem Shacha Shehi Shu Shikha. No, all those things are Shikha. Amachu and what do they argue? Al Omer Shenatlo V'Nasno B'Tzara Gapa. If you deliberately moved it next to the Gapa B'Tzara Gadish B'Tzara Bakar B'Tzara Kelim Shchacha Beisham Reim Eno Shikha Nesha Zachaba, because you acquire when you picked it up. And therefore, when you put it down, it can't become shikha again. With so many shikha, it is shikha. No, it's still shikha. Shabasi, it says this from Rabbi Elazar Azariah. When I came to Azariah, Amalei, he said, habris, which is also seems to be a lashon hashvua. Hein, hadvarim shnemer l'Moshe b'chorev. The way Rabbi Shua said, that's the truth. That is the truth. That's the true way to understand it, as if it was said to Moshe Sinai. Obviously, it wasn't said. It doesn't mean specifically, but it has that quality. Says more further. Tamatin, we learned over there. Isha Shnaflu Nechasim, a woman who inherited property, Ashluti Saris, before she became a betrothed. Modi Sham Besil Shemachesos Azchayam. They're hers. She gets to sell them, sell them, and give them as a gift, and the transaction is valid. Another woman, she decides what they felt her as inheritance after she became engaged, betrothed. Beishami says she could still sell them because until Nisuin she has the right to sell them. Beisamim lo because she can't sell them. But Pinchas Baikum Rabbi Yossi, why is not mentioned one of the kulas of Beishamai and the kulas of Beisil? Because Beishamai allows her to sell, and Beisil does not. Only said lo asin masni el davar shu chomer mishteit storim. Whenever we say a chumrah beishamai, a chumrah beisil over beishamai, it has to be a chumrah on both sides. And this is going to mean to both parties. But here it's not for both sides. It's true. It's a chumrah for her, but it's a kula for him. So exactly the case with chayshim mishmar halachas. It's a chumrah for one, is a kula for other. Let's say we say davar shul chumrah mishteit storim, but kam mishteit storim. Right, it's chomer on both sides, and kam on both sides, according to the other man domer. But here, chomer mitzad echad, v'kam mitzad acher. It's chomer on one side, it's chomer for her, but kal on the other side for him, and therefore it's not enumerated among the things which are the chumas of Beisil and the kulas of Beis Shammai. So the Gemara goes on. It's really the top of Nun Beis Amraf, I guess. Yeah. So this is actually the bottom of Nun Alf Amraf, so we'll stop. Nun Alf on base. The Batniya is the top of Nun Beis Amraf, so we'll stop here for today.